Hello guys, welcome to the PyPower projects. Today we are going to organize a free webinar on GUI and animation in Python. So let's start. In this webinar, the first topic we're going to learn is GUI. So what is GUI? How to implement a GUI in Python, how to make it, and how to combine our logic of program and GUI so that a wonderful user-friendly UI that can be presented. So let's start. What is GUI in Python?
Hello guys, welcome back. We were going to see some flavors and tastes of Tkinter GUI programming. So now let's begin with the tutorial part. So there are three factors which is based on Tkinter. So why we use Tkinter, what is the need for Tkinter, and we will see what actually Tkinter is and how we will deploy them into a real life project. So first we need to understand why we need GUI. What is GUI? Everybody knows it is graphical user interface. Why we need GUI? GUI is a stand of a screen for the client to hold and provide our services. The best example that I can give for GUI is an ATM machine. When you go through the ATM machine, you will have to select your account, you have to give the password, PIN, and enter the amount. They will never tell you, never show you the blank screen. They will never show you the logic, how they are going to implement your transaction. You will automatically get the money from the cash receiver and your task is done. So that is a user interface. GUI actually protects or encapsulates the behind logic which is working. So instead of command line, working with the command line in order to hold the clients, we use graphical user interface in order to allow the user to interact with the devices and application. Why we use Tkinter? Python has lot of GUI frameworks. I mean literally lot of GUI frameworks. But Tkinter is based on standard Python library. It has many strengths. The first most strength is cross-platform. So the same code that you work on Windows will be working on Mac OS or Linux. Applications which are built on Tkinter, they belong on the platform. It looks like that it is made on this platform, and on that platform only that application is running. And as Tkinter is basically a lightweight and relatively easy to use, because some frameworks give and provide more services, better services, but they are more harder to learn and acquire a mastery over it. So Tkinter is painless, easy, and we can afford it in a certain period of time. So what is Tkinter? Tkinter is in Python GUI programming is a standard Python GUI library which provides object-oriented interface with a TKGUI toolkit. So now we will study about the fundamentals of Tkinter. So how and we were going to deploy the Tkinter into our system and go on. So let's start our journey for learning Tkinter. So what is the hello world of Tkinter? If you do not have Tkinter, the first thing that you need to do on Windows platform is pip install Tkinter. That is the basically hello world. If you are working on Anaconda platform or Anaconda IDE, you need not to install this. That would be might already be an install. Or if you just go to Python command line and just write pip install Tkinter, it will be working. So now when we have installed Tkinter into our machine, we need to import Tkinter as well into our project. So when we open our file, we need to file up import Tkinter as TK. TK is just a short form so that we can use it in a further manner. So basic thing, that is a window. What we have application. Assume that we are working on a mini swapper or some solitaire application. It has a window screen where you can view the actual program. So window is created from the tk.tk code. So when you write import tkinter as tk and write window equals to tk.tk, when you execute this code, you will get this certain types of output in different OS. So, so now we will learn about Tkinter widgets, because creating a simple window is not our goal. We need to make a real life project of kind something. So we need to learn some various features, some basic tools that could help us or engage the audience into it. So first tool is adding a widget. Widget are of mainly four kinds. We'll study it later, but the simple widget available is label. Label is a kind of a space where you can print something on the window. So let's say I've given greeting tk.label with text equals to hello tickinter and greeting.pack to pack that in the window size. So while you are adding the widget, it will look like simply hello tickinter. So this is what kind of theory. The window you have created earlier doesn't change. You need to create a label widget, but you haven't added it to the window yet. So we need to add it to the window. So it is just created. Now we need to pack it into the window size. So it is greeting.pack. Now, as I was telling you earlier, types of widgets are basically this types. Label, a widget which is used to display some text on the screen. Button, we click on the button to perform certain action. For example, if we build a tic-tac-toe game, so we need to click on that board, or if we play a solitaire game, we need to click on the card, so that there is a button. Entry, a text entry widget allows only a single line of text. You need to have some input from the user. For example, you are writing your name in some game or application. So what is that? That is actual entry button. Text. A text entry widget allows multi-line text entry. So when you need a certain descriptive kind of thing, for example, you are going in Google Forms. What this? There we need some descriptive kind of thing or some opinions or suggestions. They are just text. Frame. A rectangular region which is used to group related objects or provide padding between the widgets. Frame is a kind of, what do you say, it's like loop into loop. Window is the main frame, and into it we create a virtual frame into which you can create different objects and play with it. Okay, so displaying text with label widgets, working with labels. So how label will be there? Label equals to tk dot label, text equals to hello tickinter. The same thing, we have just label, and you can just change the background color, the foreground color, and you can manipulate it. So how? There are certain features like foreground equals, you can change it to any of the color, but this is a standard way. So label is tk.label, text equals to hello tickinter. You can write whatever your name is and something type and somewhat else things, and you can just play with the background colors. The foreground color is the text color and background color is the window color. So after writing this code, you can go on. You can also enhance its width, its height, many things. So there are certain features you need to explore a deeper to get into it. If you're just writing on a basic IDE, then if you just write some certain things into label, you will come across some certain various features and you can add them. All right, so displaying clickable buttons with button widgets. So the next thing which we're using is button. So in button, we used to display clickable buttons, so where you can click something and perform some logic. So for example, we developed some submit button, right? What is that? After submitting, the response whatever is that is sent to a specified user as an email. So what is that submit thing entry? It is kind of button where we need to click something. They can be configured to call a function. Like whenever a button is clicked, there is some kind of flag or kind of thing, and it turns something. It can, you can change the color, you can do certain animations of it. Many things are possible, but what you do is whenever a button is clicked, you call some function, perform some logic, and again return to the same phase. You can manipulate its color, you can manipulate its height and width. See, I've just given a real based example. You can do it, you can manipulate it. There may be certain more features except this width, height, background, and foreground color. So it's nothing like this is the only thing available. There are many. It's like a sea. We are just tasting its drop. So the next thing is getting user input with entry widget. So how we will take entry? So when we need to get some bit text from the user, like its name, some email address, or if you're creating some Google form kind of thing, we need an roll number kind of thing, division, many things. So to take entry, so entry is equals to tk.entry, foreground color, background color, width, and everything has been set. So what you're doing this, you're creating just an entry. See, entry equals to tk.entry, label.pack, and entry.pack. We need to pack things. So this is very important. This is just a snippet. Entry equals to tk.entry. This is a snippet. How to create that entry thing. This white thing is created, but where to place it, how it will be packed in this whole window, that is done by the dot pack function. It will pack accordingly to the window size. Okay, well, for example, the width is maybe, no, the width is 60, then the window size will automatically grow up to 60, and your name entry will be grown up to this much kind of thing. So it will manipulate by itself with the help of dot pack button or dot pack function. This is very important. Okay, now some another features. So up till now we just saw some future features that how we may just click on a button, display some text, or maybe create some entry thing. But there are three main operations that you can perform with entry widgets. What? What is it? Retrieving the text. After user input something, we need to manipulate on that data. Like for example, if I create a game and I have entered player 1's name and player 2's name. So for example, player 1 wins. So we need to get that name from that player. So we will use dot get button. You will take the player name and will display a dialog box. Yes, you have won the game. Deleting the text. There may be option that we restart the game. So we need to delete the previously entered text. So deleting dot delete function. Inserting some new text. For example, I have taken an email ID. Okay. So here is just not entered this whole complete at the gmail.com. I need to display, or I need to use it with the whole email address, with complete email address, I mean say. So I will need to enter something else, insert something. So you can also insert in with this dot insert function. We will see its functionalities in detail. So implementation. So there are certain features that Tkinter automatically performs. For example, if you have seen in the previous slides that when you are using to write enter the name, so the name was always in the middle or the central portion of the entry widget. So this feature is of dot pack function. You need not to worry about how it will look. Will it look symmetric or not? It will look in a better or a uniform manner or not. That things will be taken care by the dot pack function. It is smart enough to place your things in a uniform manner so that it looks like it has been arranged properly. So you will learn more about in the later sections. So let's basically see how is the entry widget. So entry.get. Some, for example, I have written something like it's real Python or maybe something Tirth or something, anything. So whenever I write something, I need to fetch that name. So I just fetching with the .get button and I have printing the name. So entry.delete. Sometime as I earlier said, we need to restart the game. So the previously entered name would be deleted. So how we will do that? With the .delete function. This method takes an integer argument that tells Python which character to remove. You can also remove the entire thing, and you can also remove a specific character. This is the speciality of this function. So we can just explore more. We need to do some certain kinds of slicing. Like for example, I need to add a mister, or I need to remove some mister, or something kind of abbreviations are there. So if we need to remove them, we need to use the dot delete function. Instead of deleting the whole entry, or instead of rewriting the whole entry, we can manipulate or rectify certain minor errors or extra information from the actual name. Okay, so for example, we are given in this code. So whenever there is, I think, real Python, I need to remove r. So I will just write the index. It's like an array. So you can see that's the 0th index means r, 1th index, and tk.end means up till the end. The all thing will be cleared. So this is entry.delete function. Now entry dot insert. So input from the user. For example, I need to extra myself, I need to add something more. So how I will do, I will use the entry dot insert function. So I will write Python. So first of all, Python will be imprinted, and after that I will write 0. Here it is string, while deleting it was character. In the previous slides there was character deleting. Here I am inserting strings. So in the first index there will be Python. Now in the first index there will be real. So real will be spaced with Python. Let's see. So first will be Python and next time it will be real. It is not like it is just overprinting ourselves like a variable means a equals to 5 and b equals to 6. Now a equals to b means a will be 6. No, it will be 56 kind of thing because they are strings. And now we will assign some frame within a frame. So it is like for loop within a for loop kind of thing. So you can also do, sometimes it may seem that you have a user entry, right? So you will create a small frame under which you will create a name frame where you can take information, and you will create another frame in which you can display information. So that is also possible. Here is a very simple example. I have taken a frame with tk.frame. I have labeled the frame that is master equals to frame. Again, I have I have imported tickinter, and then I have imported tickinter window equals to tk.tk. There will be two frames, frame 1 and frame 2. This is my main frame, that is master equals to frame. Okay, so label A will be master equals to frame A. So there is a greater frame, frame A, and there will be a smaller frame, frame B. Both we need to pack, and see, I have just packed both of the frames, and this both frame are in the main loop. Main loop, that is, this window is the main frame into which I have created these two frames. So actual window into which I have created two frames, frame 1 and frame 2. You can also create frame within a frame, that is also possible. Okay, so we need to make our UI more responsive. For example, if I stretch the UI something, it should not be like that it is just working on a mobile screen, it won't work on the desktop or won't work on a laptop. So it should be very much responsive. So it should be like that in every circumstances or situation. What you have seen some applications, if you just minimize this and try to minimize up to the thinnest level, it will try to accommodate each and every information into that phase also. Even if it goes very bad, but still it will try to manage. So that is called more responsiveness. To make the layout truly responsive, we need to set an initial size for which the height and width attributes are satisfied. So the tk.board will set the expand keyboard, that is, sometimes we expand the screen, we maximize the screen or application screen to the whole our laptop or desktop screen. So this is making more responsive. It should not be like that I have just created with 100, so it will just remain in the 100 width. If I click on this maximize button, it should be placed accordingly. It should not be like that. Even if I place the maximize button, it will just remain in that only same portion as I have allotted. So it should be much responsive, I feel. So how to make those things? So let's see into it. See, this is a GIF. I've created the special GIF. See, so as per the window size, it should be working. So this is very important. See, I have packed each and every frame in this. So this is how we need to make our UI very responsive. It should not be like that if I just scroll down this thing, they should remain at the same position as it is. It should be in a ratio manner. This is how dot pack works. So it is quite smart enough. So we need not to more worry about it, but we should know its certain features, that how it is behaving. It might be helpful and sometimes it might be contradictory to our expectation. So this is pros and cons of every feature. So dot place thing. So now we'll see the dot place geometry manager. So we need to place something at certain point or certain area, not exactly in the middle of everything. We need to place something at somewhat extreme left, extreme right, or somewhere else. So here it is it does not understand what is left or what is right. It just understand this is a 2D matrix. It will understand the coordinates. That is, if it is earth, then it is north south coordinates or east northeast coordinates, latitude and longitude. Similarly, here it is x coordinate and y coordinate. So import Tkinter SDK. I have created a same main frame. Okay, this window is my main frame. I have created a frame master window, and I have created a frame inside this frame. See, I have created the label inside this frame. Master equals to frame means this frame. Inside this frame, I have created label 1, and I am placing it at 0 comma 0. See, this is a 0 comma 0th index, so it will occupy the size accordingly. Similarly, I have created another label for 75 cross 75. If I go for 150 cross 150, it will be right here. But as I am using a text size of I am at 0 comma 0, this might be maybe 10 characters long, so it may occupy more than exactly 0 comma 0. So I need to just write, if I write just one character like I with background color, then you will be able to see how exactly that pixel is divided. So I think you need to play and explore more. So how to place certain labels at certain point. By default things are already available, but we need to manage it off. So now the dot grid manager. Grid is like just what you say, 3 cross 3 matrix. Inside a frame you need some kind of matrix or simply a division of the matrix in a particular fashion. So dot grid works by splitting a window or a frame rows and columns. You can specify the location of the widget by calling the dot grid function. So this is the dot grid. So here there is row 0, column 0. So this is what I have done. I have created the main frame. I have been continuously creating frame for 3 cross 3. So I will be basically creating 9 frames. So master equals to window relief raised, so that this lines are the borders. So this is raised, as a result of which it will just pop out from one another, right? So similarly, I have placed the thing, I have placed a label that the whichever row and whichever column it is, it should display. So this is how grid is. I have only created one single main frame, that is in this window. I have created this frame because see, master equals to window. So I have created all these frame inside this whole main frame. Okay, I have never created a basically another main frame into which I have created this 3 cross 3. This is basically created in the main frame. So this is how dot grid works. So up till now we have understood certain features, many features basically, which is quite enough to build a simple UI application to test yourself. I urge you to make this application. This is not a kind of oh so big application that you cannot make it. It's just a simple one. So logic is easy, but you need to place everything in a perfect fashion. So whatever the requirements are given in the problem statement. So see here, so in this section you will build a temperature converter application which will allow the user to input temperature in degrees, that is Fahrenheit, push a button to convert the temperature into Celsius. So understand here what we need to do. We need to allow the user to input degrees in Fahrenheit, and we have to press a button. The user has to press the button, and in that it will convert into degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the logic. We need to write the logic. See, this is an suitable example to explain this at this point. So basically the logic behind this is simply a formula, but what we are delivering to the client is very important here. We cannot go on with the blank screen. That client, every time you need to run this on the command line, enter whatever you need in degrees and it will convert into Celsius. This is worst things. So you cannot directly give it to the client. The client will say no, I don't need your app. Even if it is working at the best efficiency, your program would be at the best algorithm, it will be working behind it, but still it focuses on the user interface, how the client will interact. The user interface should be such that there is a no scope for the user to get confused how to use this app. Okay, so it's not like this that user interface is so good but the user is unable to find out that which thing is used for what. So I can easily understood that with this dot send, this send button I can send emails, with plus button I can compose an email. That is kind of mentality. So this is also a task of a user interface developer. See, logic behind this app is very simple. It's just in a two lines of code or maybe three maximum. But the main thing is how you are delivering the content. Content is one most important thing. That is the logic. But how we are delivering the logic, the user must be satisfied it so that it can basically reuse the application. Okay, so we need three elements here. So an entry widget called enter temperature to enter the Fahrenheit value, a label widget where you can display the Celsius result, and a button widget which can convert or that reads the value from the entry widget and converts into the Fahrenheit or Celsius. Okay, it sets the text to the label widget, the result when clicked. Okay, so if you need to see some kind of how it will be working, let's develop. Okay, first we will be importing Tkinter. We'll create a new window, that is our main frame. In that we will use window.title, that is what is the title of our application, like for example it is email or Google Classroom or Google Form, what it is. So we need to title that, so which sets the title. Now we will create enter temperature widget where we need to use entry dot entry function. Okay, so create an enter temperature widget with a label called label temperature as assigned. So we can see here I have created, I have imported Tkinter, I have used the mainframe, that is temperature converter. So here I have created the frame entry which is master this. I have created one big frame inside the main frame, that is the window. So master will be equals to window. So in that frame I need to create an entry button. In which frame? This frame entry. I have to create in this frame I have to create an entry button for entering the temperature. So its master would be frame entry and its width would be 10. Label temperature where I could label it that what you need to enter, that is the degrees in Fahrenheit. Okay, this is the part 1. This is a very understandable and very basic thing. Next thing, you want to label the temperature to place directly to the right of the entry temperature, so that you need to display the temperature, right? So it will be looking in the right side of it. So with the dot grid geometry manager with one row and two columns. Okay, row 0 column 0 and row 0 column 1. So we will be doing it and we will convert btk button master equals to window txt rightwards black arrow, means it would be like a button which it will rightwards back arrow, it will just like an arrow kind of thing which will convert into the Celsius. Okay, so there will be a label where it will we will going to display something out. Okay, that is degree Celsius. Phase 3. Now using the dot grid button to go ahead and lay them out now. Finally we will run the application. That looks great, but it won't be doing anything. Right? See, I have just placed row 0, 0, 1, 0, 2 where we will display the result. But up till now we have not written any logic. Logic is kind of the soul or heart of whatever user interface is. But without user interface, heart is nothing. Okay, hard logic is nothing. We need to hold the client satisfactorily. Okay, so in the result of which we just created a UI. It is just a dead body. The heart is not beating here. So we need the logic. So we need to insert logic now. Being a programmer, we have just certain knowledge about what is how to convert Fahrenheit into Celsius. So at the top of your script, we need to just write an import line, add a function. So define Fahrenheit to Celsius, converts the value. Fahrenheit will be enter temperature dot get. I have used the dot get function to get the entry that has been given in the Celsius button or Fahrenheit button. Alright, so it will convert into float. I have written the formula and the result will be displayed back in the window. See, button convert equals to tk dot button. Whenever it button is been clicked, you need to command the Fahrenheit to Celsius function. So whenever this button will be clicked, it will go to this function and then the logic will be run. So this is a mainly thing. Finally, it is kind of this UI. It's a very simple thing, but still it works better. It looks better than the black screen. Okay, so this is the whole code. Okay, I have to just write something in Fahrenheit. I will just click this button and I will get the values in Celsius. It is just a 26 line of codes and we have covered almost everything, or tried to cover the aspects of the whole whatever we studied till now. But this is not the end. This is, again I repeat myself, this is not the end, it's just a beginning. We need to explore more. More we explore, more we can learn things. There are certain more features, like you can display a message box. Sometimes if you enter an invalid value, or there is a certain result, for example you are playing a game and some player wins, so there is a pop out message, player 1 has win the game. So that is a pop out message, it should blow off user's mind. So there are also certain more features. So it is not just like you just create this simple applications, but this is a beginning. Up till the beginners level or somewhat of intermediate level, you should be knowing this things of Tkinter. Okay, now I'm just going to give a basic idea of how tic-tac-toe. It's a homework for you or a project for you. You can refer our videos. We have already created amazing projects with Tkinter. We have developed many of them. Here are a few where tic-tac-toe. There is basically a third or fourth video maybe. And currency conversion. This is the latest video maybe. We have started developing apps with Tkinter. We're not just basically doing logic, we're also focusing on UI programming. The reason is that the more we focus on logic, we also need to focus to hold the audience. So we need to see that whether the client is satisfied by our product or not. So links of both the projects will be given in the description box. And now before seeing the complete video of or instructional video on tic-tac-toe, you need to try it yourself. Okay, so logic is very simple. What is tic-tac-toe? If there is any vertical continuous blocks of zeros or x, then it is a win condition. There is a vertical lines or slant lines are there, then there is a win condition. Okay, logic is very simple, but how to display those? There are many conditions. There may be draw, there may be win, there may be a lose. You need to enter some players information, that is name and their choice. Maybe you need to enter a button like which player will opt for O or for X, and you need to play the game. You need to every time check the win condition. Everything is given in that video, you can check it out. But you know what is tic-tac-toe. Now that is a homework for you, how you have to create this thing. After you create yourself a very basic GUI, watch that video, enhance your UI programming and learn more. So basically in this tutorial we have learned several important concepts: how to work with widgets, how to control your application with geometry managers, how to make your application interactive with the dot pack and dot place, how to use 5 basic Tkinter widgets, that is label, button, entry, text and frame. So now that you have mastered the foundations of Python UI programming, it is not like you are just blind in terms of UI. Somebody just tells you make me some application for doing something X, Y, Z. Logic is different thing and UI is different thing. Both are equally important. Nobody is going to work on black screen. So this maybe sound somewhat forgetive when you say that UI and logic both are equally important. It's not like that, that UI and logic both are equally important. Yes, they both have their own meaning. UI is important when you're working on a big scale project. So you need to hold the client, you need to convince the client that our project is the best, even though the logic that you have written covers in the least complexity of time and space. But the user may get lucrative about those offers where the UI is very lucrative or very spicy or flavorish. So this is important. When you are dealing with projects, you need to integrate them. Logic is one part, integration is different part. So UI also works on integrating things. Okay, so you need to cover the aspects of programming. I know programming maybe sound everything for some people, but it is actually not everything. It is just a step on which you can learn more things. Okay, so this is conclusion. We have learned basic things. You need to explore more. The more you explore, the more you learn, and more you can deploy into your own project and make it more interactive.
Hello guys, I hope you enjoyed learning the first part of our webinar, that is GUI in Python. Now move towards the second part of our webinar, that is animation in Python. So what this animation mean, which library of Python will use in this animation. So let's start the animation in Python. In this animation in Python tutorial or in this webinar, we will be using the Turtle library. The Turtle module is provided in Python that provides a maximum stuff of animation that will be used as in a basic level or in a project level also. So Turtle library will be using in this tutorial. Now let's move towards what type of contents will be covered in this webinar. So first is window and title. The window presented in the turtle and the title of that window will be shown. Second is pen size. So what will be thickness of our pointer, that matters a lot in animation. Then third will see a speed. While drawing a major animations or major designs, we need a control over the speed, what speed the cursor or pointer should move, so that it looks a beautiful design and attracts the user. So speed matters a lot, we'll look about the speed. Then shapes, the basic shapes like circle and square will be seen, and this using these basic shapes only we will develop major designs in this tutorial itself. We'll see it in a few minutes. Now letters in Turtle, that is text in Turtle. If we want to write something in our window, then how can we write it? That will be seen in this tutorial in a few minutes. Some special animations, and along with that spirals and spirograph will be presented. It will be a huge learning experience for all of you to learn this spirograph. More than 6 to 7 different kinds of spirograph design will be presented here. And last but most important, which is special for you, that is making Indian flag using Turtle. So we'll be making a Indian flag, that is tricolor Indian flag, using the Turtle module itself. So now let's start the tutorial. These are the contents that we'll cover in this tutorial. I have already presented this all contents in the slides. Now let's move towards the first program, that is first app in Turtle. Let's move. This basic 0.py. So what this basic 0.py is, it will make a screen for you, that is Turtle screen, and it will be titled as my first Turtle app. So first let's run this code. So you will get a clear output or clear understanding of output. Now run. So this is my window. In this is total square window of Turtle and titled as my first Turtle app. So you can see that a window with a title is presented. Now what this turtle is moving, we'll say this pointer is turtle. So let's run again. What is this moving turtle? When y it is rotating in round and round. So I have written code for it. Let's see it. So I have a loop for I in range 10, that is this loop will run 10 times, and in this I have written a function of turtle is circle. In this circle function it will take a single argument, that is radius. So a radius of 50 size, I mean the turtle will draw a circle of 50 radius, and it will draw it 10 times because I have the loop 10 times. So let's run again. You will see the screen, this title, and a circle moving 10 times. So this is our first step. I hope you understand it. Now second app, this is basic 1.py. So it is same, this particular code is same as previous. Now my title is turtle app 2. This is my second turtle app. I have changed the pen size and color. So in previous, our turtle, that is circle turtle, will be little moderate thickness. I mean, we can say that the minimum thickness possible in turtle. Now thickness will be bit bigger and color of that circle will be blue. Else it's same. This will make a circle of 50 radius and it will move 5 times. So let's run it. It's basic 1.py. See, my circle is of same radius, but its thickness is now a bit bigger than previous and its color is also blue. So I hope you understood the second code also. In this, I have changed title, I have changed the size of pen, and I have made the color blue. Let's run this code again for you. So this is my title and this is circle of 50 radius, color blue and pen size equal to 3. Okay, I hope you understood it. Now moving toward the third app of our turtle, that is basic 2.py. In this I have made title as app 3 background color. So we'll be showing here background color. Now I have made turtle.bg color and I have passed argument black. In turtle it is flexibility that you can pass the color as a string name as you can pronounce it. So black, orange, red, purple, blue, green, white, yellow, these are multiple colors that you can write directly without using hex code. Also you can pass the color as a hex code, that is hexadecimal code, but basic colors you can write as their name. So here my color will be black, else it's same, and now the total color, that is our pointer color, will be orange. So now my color of background is black and now color of the turtle is orange, else is same, it will make a circle 5 times. Let's run it. This is basic 2.py. Here my color of background is now black and color of my turtle, that is the circle, is now yellow. So you can change the background color accordingly. Let's make one change. Let's make it green and let's make this color as white and see the output. So my background color is now green and my circle color is now white. So you can change colors like this. I hope you understood this tutorial, this program of background color and turtle color. Okay. Now moving towards the fourth app of our turtle, that is set position. So we have now moving towards the fourth app of our turtle app, that is set position. It may get any requirement, we may get any requirement that we have to make our animations at different place in a same window. So for that, set position will be used. The main function here is this set pose. So here you have to pass two arguments x comma y and it will move to that point in your turtle screen or turtle window. Additional to functionality, that is pan up and pan down, are used so that no one can notice that our turtle has moved, so that it cannot make a line while moving it. So pan up will lift up the our turtle and pan down will keep down at after assigning or after going to a new position. So additional to these functions are used along with set position. What is the code? So first of all, we'll draw a circle of white color, second circle will be of yellow color, and third circle will be of red color. Only difference is first circle is at 0 0 position. We have not set by default, it is 0. Next is the circle that is yellow will be at minus 100 100 position, and third circle will be at this 150 minus 150 position. So three different circle at three different position will be drawn. Let's see the output of it. So this is first circle at position A, second circle yellow circle at position B, and third circle at position C. So three different circles can be drawn. Now the fifth app in our turtle is speed. So speed matters a lot while you are working with animation. So what kind of functionality of speeding the our turtle or animation is provided? So the code is similar as previous, only the speed attribute speed function is added in the previous code. So turtle speed, 1 means the slowest speed in turtle, so it is the minimum speed in turtle. This 10, so turtle speed lies between 0 I mean 1 to 10. 10 means the highest speed and 1 means the lowest. You can set accordingly between 1 to 10, and this is a special 0, turtle speed 0. So 0 means the maximum speed possible in turtle. So whenever you will give 0, it will plot the maximum. Now let me show a one difference in this. Else is similar, this is white color circle, this is yellow, but here now this circle is of 10 100 centimeter, I mean 100 units, and it is moving 10 times. So 10 circle will be taken, but speed is 0, so even we cannot notice that 10 round are moved to draw the circle. It is very fast. So you will see that in output. Let's see it. So this is circle 1, it is a bit slower. Second is yellow circle, it is faster than the first one. And third, very fast. So even we cannot notice that it happened. And now moving toward the shape. So what kind of different shapes can be drawn? The basic shapes we'll see in this code. First of all is circle. You know how to draw circle. So first of all I will set position at minus 150 150 120, and a circle of blue color is drawn. Now square, there is no as such predefined function of square, but you know that four edges of equal length and perpendicular to each other will draw a square. So turtle dot forward, that means it will move forward direction 100 steps and will take a right turn at 90. This is in loop, so it will move forward 100 and take a 90-degree turn, then again forward, then turn, then forward, then turn, and then forward. It will make a one square. So when I will write this here 4, it will make a complete square 1, and when I will write here 8, it will make two squares that you will see in the output. And rectangle, so as you know that every square is a rectangle with equal length and breadth. So now I am changing the length and breadth of my square, that will be rectangle. So I have taken the length as 150, and will take a right turn, then again the breadth will be 70, and again right turn. It will make two rectangle because I am moving this 4 times, so two rectangle will be drawn. So again let's look at the code. This is the code of circle, this is a square of red color, and this is a rectangle of green color. So I hope you understand. Now moving towards the output, that is, so this is the blue color circle, red color square, forward turn, forward turn, forward turn, and forward. This is rectangle green color, 150 cross 70 rectangle is drawn here. Okay, I hope you understood the basic shape, how to draw it. And last is text, how to plot or write characters in turtle. So how to write text in turtle is presented in this code. The same code is here. This will draw a circle, this is of square, and this is of rectangle. So nothing is changed, only this particular code is changed here. This turtle.write function is the function that writes code text in your window, and this is a string that we want to write here. These all are the additional argument you have to pass if you require it. Move means if move is true, then it will draw a underline after writing the text. I will run this code, then you can notice it. So these two text will be underlined, else other will be simple. These are additional argument, alignment and font, etc, etc. What is this doing? This I am taking my pen up, setting new position, taking pen down and changing the color. So it is not that much important, as we have seen in previous codes. And this circle, so this will write circle with move equal to, that means print underlined. This will print square and this will print a rectangle. Wait a minute. So this will print circle in the window. This line will print square at a different position and this will print a rectangle. So I hope you understand how to write a text in our turtle window. Now let's look at it. So this is same code, circle, then red square and green rectangle. Then text will be written. See, text in total underlined, circle underlined and square and rectangle is not underlined, it's a simple. So this way you can add text in your turtle screen. So I hope you understood the basics of turtle, that is starting from, you can see this window and title, then moving the pen size and color, then background color, you can see your background color. Then you can see that set position, so pen up, set position, pen down. Basic 4 you have speed, so various speed arguments, that is 1, 10 and 0. So you can see that speed argument, speed attribute of turtle. Then basic shape, that is circle, square and rectangle. And text in turtle, how to add a text element in our turtle window. I hope you understood this basic, and it is more than enough to understand any special application written in Turtle, this pyrograph or any other animations designing using Turtle. This is enough basic tutorial for you. And now we'll move to some special codes written for you. That is some of these pyrographs and spirals, Indian flag, etc. So now let's move towards the special codes of turtle. First of all, I would like to open shapes all. Shapes all. So enter. Here this hexagon, triangle, yellow color circle, square and concentric circles are drawn. For I in range 6, this will move towards, this will move 6 times. It will move 100 steps forward and 60-degree right. After moving 6 times, I will make a hexagon of kind color in my turtle window. All basic shapes and major shapes are covered. That is, hexagon is covered, triangle is covered, circle, square, and even the concentric circle type shape is, funnel type shape is also covered in this particular code. Now move towards the different code, that is circular spiral one. What this circular spiral will do? Circular spiral one will print a design. Speed will be 0, that is maximum speed it can draw. Title will be circular spiral 1 and it will draw a circle of I into 2. So initially my I will be, you can say, you know that in loop I increments automatically in for loop of Python. So my I will be 0, so circle of 0, then circle of 2, then circle of 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, and it will increment in a multiple of 2, and after drawing one circle it will rotate a 5 degree, and a beautiful wonderful design is drawn using this. So let's look at it. Circular spiral 1. So this wonderful beautiful design is drawn in a few seconds, you can see here how beautiful it looks. Let's move towards the second circular spiral 2. In that I have made multiple colors of multiple colors. So how it works, let's move towards it. Circular spiral 2, you can see that yellow and red color design, the same design is there, but of yellow and red color also looks beautiful. You can see here. Great, very wonderful design is shown. Now you can add the colors list here. So instead of red and yellow, it will iterate in all this color and print the design. Now let's move towards a different code, that is uh, circle spirograph. Yes, so this is a spirograph made from circle. In this, it is making a loop 40 times running, making 40 times loop, and it in it color is now initially white. Now this will make a circle of 100 and it will move 10-degree left. The code is pretty simple. You can see that it is only making circle and moving left, making circle of 100 and moving left, making circle and moving left. But you can see that output of it is a wonderful and fantastic design. Let me see the output of code. So the turtle is pretty simple and implementation is very simple, but the output is very fantastic and wonderful. Okay, so this is the output of circle spiral. This is only a, you can say, hardly 10 lines of code, but a beautiful wonderful design is shown or drawn using this 10 line of code. So you can make a wonderful animations. You move towards the spirograph made using square. This is same thing, but only this circle, instead of circle, the code of square is written. I am not explaining this code. This is forward 130 and left, forward left, forward left. This will make a square and rotate 12-degree each time. So what is the output of it? So this is square. So you can see this output also looks very good. This is a square rotating 12-degree each time and moving a loop 40 times. This wonderful design can be generated, but you can also make different colors here. So I have this list colors. So let me take here colors for color in colors and see the output. Just decreasing the loop length. So what is the output? It also looks good. Multicolored spirograph is generated. Now our third is spiral using hexagon. So this is also a simple code. It makes a hexagon. So turtle.forward I, this will make a forward step of I length and will move 59-degree left, not exactly 60, otherwise it will not make a spiral. It will make only hexagon and hexagon over at each other. So it will move, it will turn left 59-degree, which will be increasing every time, and it will select a one color from this list of 6 colors. So this will generate 0 to 5. I modulo 6 will generate a value between 0 to 5, and any one color from the 6 will be chosen using this t.pen colors. And let's see the output of this code. It will generate a beautiful spiral using hexagon, and after this code we will move towards the special part of our tutorial or this webinar, is making Indian flag using Python. So before that, let's see the output of hexagon spiral. Just wait and see. A wonderful design will be drawn in a few seconds. You can see that these colors are in systematic format because we are choosing each one by one, and making a rotation of 59 degree will generate this spiral. Otherwise exact rotation of 60 will make a single hexagon and it will overwrite each other, so no output will be shown like this spiral. And as you can see that this spiral looks very beautiful, and even we cannot imagine that a simple hexagon of 6 length can generate this beautiful spiral in 10 lines of code. So I hope you understand how beautiful the turtle is and how simply these codes can work, how simply this codes work. And here there are multiple special codes written for you. This circle spirograph, circle 1, circular spirals, and many more, spiral 2 and here. So due to less time I am not executing all this code, but if you want this codes you can get it after the webinar, and also available in the the link is also available in description box, so you can get that code from GitHub. But you can try this all special functionalities by running one by one, and you can see the power of turtle is pretty simple, and even students studying in 4th grade can also understand it. So it is very simple, but its output is very fantastic and very wonderful in a few lines of code. So I hope you understand it. And now moving toward the most important and special functionality of our this webinar or this tutorial is Indian flag. So making Indian flag using turtle. So before code, I should run this code before explaining. Now see the output. So this is Indian flag. Tricolor Indian flag is drawn here using turtle. I hope this is a wonderful achievement using turtle. And now let's understand the code. This code is also pretty simple. A 3-step code is here, only a 3-step code. So first step is making Ashok Chakra, that circle with 24 spokes in the Indian flag. Central circle is known as Ashok Chakra. T dot fill color, that color will be orange, and whatever code of you will write between this begin fill and end fill will be filled with orange color or the particular color. So here I have passed a rectangle of 900 cross 180. This is same green section, only I have changed my color as green. So once again I would like to run this code for you. This is drawing Ashok Chakra, the orange part, and this is the green part. I hope you loved this free webinar on GUI and animation in Python and learned a lot how to use GUI and animations in Python and start implementing in your working or your project. I hope you learned a lot from this webinar, and I request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you never miss any update on Python projects, Python tutorials. And I request you to join our WhatsApp group PyPow community and meet more than 1300 Python enthusiasts in a one place. Link of our WhatsApp group is also provided in description box. So do like, share, subscribe and press the bell icon of our YouTube channel. Thank you and have a nice day.